So Kate asked me to shoot her garden and what we've done. Gutters, put those on, and then the water comes down the spout, enters this first flush system, and this system is designed to get all of the crud and bird poop that comes off the roof. Puts it in here, and then you just unscrew that cap and it all comes flushing out. And then there's a bottle here, just an empty water bottle that floats up, gets trapped right there at that reducer, and then the rainwater is free to flow down this tube and into the tote. And if the tote gets full, it comes out this overflow right here, and we put the bug screen on so that the bugs don't go up into the tote. And we have two totes, two halves of the system. Gutters on this side, so it's a redundant system. Same thing with this first flush system here and the overflow there. So the water comes down, flows in, and fills 330-gallon totes, two of them for $6.60. Then we have these hose adapters put on, and right now this black tube, which is going to be buried, comes into this bucket, and this bucket has a float in it. So when the water level reaches a certain point, it shuts the water off, so that when the float finally reaches the level that these 4-inch pipes are in, it will shut itself off using just the rainwater. And then this 3/4-inch pipe goes all the way down and feeds all 4 of our 10-foot length of pipe there, attached to another 10 feet. Now we just drilled holes in them. Keep the bugs out. So, approximately 6 gallons, a little over 6 gallons in a 10-foot, 4-inch pipe. And the buckets sit right on top of that hole there. And the water level stays constant because all 4 runs of pipe are leveled down this way, and of course across the span. And then we have, that's the wicking system. That's a wicking basket, and we fill the bucket with saffron and vermiculite, and it takes as much water as it needs for the plant, and eventually the roots will go through that wicking bucket right directly into the water. So it's all self-watering. And originally the idea was to get this up above the bucket and then wrap it in tin foil so that water doesn't go in. And the tin foil also reflects, and it makes bugs think that, you know, it's a body of water and there are fish there that will eat them, so the bugs stay away. And it also keeps weeds from forming. Like you can see one right here, there, and there, but they do pull out really easily. So if we had the tinfoil hats on, we would keep the alien from picking up our plant brain waves, and it would also be bug free. So then we have the end caps, and those are glued on due to pressure. And in the middle of our run, we have that black 4-inch double clamp so that in the winter we can take this all apart and store it and clean it out. So eventually this 3/4 inch pipe that runs the length here is all going to be this black 1/2 inch, and it's going to have some 90 degrees going down, 90 degree going across, and then we'll be able to vary it. So here's what they look like before they get any plants in them, and these are waiting for carrots to grow a little bit before we transplant them. So they'll probably be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carrots. So as you can see, the water level is up here, as it is evenly spaced all the way across. So this whole 20-foot, 4 runs of 20 feet are all level. And the water stays constant right up in that wicked basket. And then the plant will take whatever water it needs to keep the soil moist. And some plants drink more than others, obviously. The tomato plants are looking really good. Beans, squash down here. Looks like this guy's not far from being edible. There's a green one. It's looking good. Lovely. And the broccoli. And here's our potato beds. Soon these guys will be sprouting. And this 4x4 patch of strawberries, we ended up getting 6, or was it 7, pint jars of strawberry preserves just from this little 4x4 patch. And it's amazing. The strawberries, very tasty. And some herbs, more beans. Lots of herbs here. And Kate's little trellis structure where we grew. This was originally our 3 sisters garden. Corn, beans, and squash. And then Kate tried tomatoes here until we put them in the pots. And so now we got the squash down here and beans over here. And then this is our big potato basket over here. Well, the other thing about this redundant 2-tote system is one is hooked up constantly feeding water to the bucket garden, which is completely portable, by the way. And then you can hook up the hose to the other tote and you can actually water the rest of the garden with pure fresh rainwater. So next to the boat is all potatoes. And as they grow, we just keep adding more soil so that they'll grow more potatoes, and then at the end of the season you just dump this whole thing out and collect your potatoes. And this is relatively new. A little raised bed here with the trellis that Kate put together. And these are alpine strawberries, supposed to be sweeter. And they're smaller berries, but they're more compact. And then we have beans, cucumbers, more beans, and flowers,
and
peppers,
and leeks.
and the green wispy things are leeks. There's my grill. And then in here, cilantro.
Potatoes.
Here's another potato bucket.
Chard.
Swiss chard.
Melons.
Melons.
Lettuce.
And lettuces. Different kinds of lettuces. So there you have it. Self-watering garden system. And relatively new to the garden is Kate's Keyhole garden. This is the keyhole. So you just step in here, put your compost, and pick your fruits and your vegetables. Which is nice. And the spiders love this too. Lots of hidey holes for spiders. And they'll keep the bugs down. About 12, 14 feet away from the street. Keyhole garden.